This podcast is not affiliated with any Grand Lodge, and the ridiculous antics and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own. Should be dismissed immediately.
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
Hi, Heath.
Hi.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Never brought the show in that way. That'd be kind of fun. We're breaking barriers, Jim.
There's a first time for everything?
Yeah. Didn't say it was a good barrier. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 6 of Studio 357 Masonic Podcast.
Whoa.
And the crowd goes, whoa.
Whoa.
Tonight, we have with us Sir, is it Sir Mark?
I start off with just brother.
Just Brother Mark?
All the other things I do is just titles, and I'm not a titles seeker, but just brother.
We'll just call it Brother Mark.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. All right. As usual, shout out to our show sponsors, the Homeward Handyman Services. Brother Mike Bosaw, excellent mason, excellent handyman. The Insurance Center, the Corporal Dagan Page Foundation. Don't forget to visit our website at studio357masonicpodcast.com and go to masongearshop.com and go to the one special tab that has us. I don't know. Buy our t-shirts and hats. They're swell.
Or the special tab, is that what
The
you said?
special tab.
Because we're special.
We're special.
You can also find the Third Degree podcast stuff there, too.
You did forget one sponsor.
I did. Our Patreon supporters.
There we go.
Who I will not liken to like I did a couple episodes ago.
You're going back further than I remember.
I said they gave us a lot of support, if that sparks your memory.
No, it doesn't, but that's okay.
That's good. We'll save that for another show. So, Jim, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
Oh, well, I've been traveling literally. We just got off of our first cruise. We were celebrating a special occasion, which I don't know if we want to talk about it, but
If you want to.
I turned 50. We both turned 50, so yeah, I had a 50th birthday, so we went on a cruise. But it was a good time, other than getting sick one day, and on the trip home, it was planes, trains, and automobiles as they canceled flights, and we couldn't get a rental car, and we got diverted someplace else, and yeah. So it was adventurous, but I had a good time.
I've decided I'm never turning 50.
Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work.
I'm just going to be 49 repeatedly.
Funny story, we're on a tour in Belize, and we had to fill out a form, and she hands it to me, and she's laughing. She said, you have to put your age on there, and so I put 49 plus and handed it back. You can't do that. And I said, I just did.
So what have I been up to? We've been moving.
Yeah.
We've closed on our acreage. We've been moving some stuff, saving the heavy stuff for the movers.
That's exciting. With so many false starts and hopes, it's finally happening.
Yeah, it was about a 2-year journey to make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pretty stoked.
Oh, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
I've been up to the same as you. Moving and
It's always
working.
the same.
It is. It almost always is.
Right, that really piqued everybody's interest.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad it did.
All right, Brother Mark, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
Couple weeks, I would say Grand York Rite stuff, because I'm the administrator for the organization to set up our annual and take all the registrations in and get all that fun stuff going.
And that's fast approaching.
Yep. And I don't have a Grand Lodge office or staff. That's me. So, but taking registrations and making sure things are getting reports in. Jim will experience that here in April because he's been Captain General? No.
Yeah, that's one of them. I don't know.
And he's in the East in 3 bodies in Plattsmouth.
It's one of those things that I missed. I missed a meeting.
And you got elected.
And I got elected. Yeah.
Yeah. And I made sure I sent him an invitation so he had be able to register and know what everything's going on. So haven't got it back yet.
Yep.
Nice. So
But
I'm going to ask you a question that's not on there because I don't know how I missed that. But how long you been a Mason, and what brought you to the craft?
I've been Mason for this will be 13 years. What brought me in was the National Treasure movie.
Okay.
And my coworker, who was a Mason, I made comments to him one night about the National Treasure movie, talking about the guy with the ring on his finger and so forth. He goes, "Well, what do you know? I'm a Mason too." It's like, huh? He said, "I'll prove it tomorrow night," because we worked the next night.
Yeah.
So he brought his grandfather's ring and he showed me his dues card. It's like, "Oh, really? Cool." So we talked about it and in general and spurred the interest of what it is. And as an IT person, I Googled everything.
Sure.
And of course, the stuff on Google is not 100% true. So, but yeah, that brought me in to Cotton Lodge back in 2012.
Okay.
And from that, moved up the chairs in Blue Lodge. Rattle.
Somebody's got a heartbeat going on over here.
I think it was me.
Wait a minute, you've got a heart? Hold on.
It's cold and dead.
From that, I waited about 3 years before sparking my interest in York Rite. Brother of my lodge, he said he was a member and gave me a petition, and didn't get active in it for a while, and then Shrine came up and got into that and got more interested in Shrine, helping out and doing things there. But from that, after COVID, and it was like not too active, and then all of a sudden hearing about a brother who going through cancer, who's the Grand Secretary of York Rite, and I was like, what can I do to help? And so I spent a year with him trying to help him with the next annual communication and what he does and so forth. And then they elected me back, and well, now this will be going on 24, 20, my 3rd year as Grand Secretary. So, but I keep busy, even though I'm retired.
Yeah.
I retired from working for the state of Nebraska back almost a year now, February 2024.
And now you're probably busier than you've ever been.
Yeah, some days. My wife says I don't do anything, but she's always in the other room when I'm doing things.
Miraculous things.
Right. Emails, phone calls, text messages. Like I got the text message from that brother the other day inquiring about York Rite. So I did my due diligence and did all the work I need to do and go forward from there. But no, I've enjoyed, I joined for fellowship more than anything else. And everything else coming with it just adds to it. So
Nice. I should have looked ahead. I did have all these questions.
You do have that question. Well, I'm just gonna interject and throw what my interactions with Mark, my observations, and I got to thinking about this today. There are certain individuals, and we can all think of one that likes to be the center of attention, likes the title, likes all of that, is loud and boisterous. Mark's the exact opposite from my experience. He is incredibly involved. He's incredibly knowledgeable. He's incredibly helpful. But he's also in stealth mode. He stays at the back, stays away from all of the pomp and circumstance that he can. And he's also one of the show's super fans in that
He is.
that we're constantly getting comments. When we did our live, we were getting questions from him. When I see him out and about, he'll ask questions about the show. So I just wanted to say I appreciate both of those, the characteristics you show, but then also to reach out to us and give us feedback. That's something that's really important to us. So
I've only been trying for 2 years to get him on the show. Finally wore him down.
No, I just got a Facebook message that, hey, you want to come on?
it was
you
more.
Sure, you want me to come on? I'm a secretary.
Why don't you show up to the shrine? We've got something that we need to ask you. Which coincidentally, we should probably explain what's going on with the background. It's a little.
We
bit of a change.
should. I currently own 2 houses for a week, and I have a studio in neither one of them right now. So our studio went mobile, and we are at Tangier Shrine right now.
So this is a temporary setup. So. Until we can get to the really cool one.
Yep.
The new studio is going to be banging. Is that a word that everybody uses? No cap?
Sure.
Is that something?
Just not old guys like us.
It's fire.
Yeah.
The young kid won't. Dad,
Am I cool now?
No.
Dad, you're embarrassing me.
That was loud.
It was. You got my attention.
All right. I got sidetracked.
That's okay.
What keeps you in masonry?
More than anything, it's the fellowship.
Yeah.
Just like early this afternoon, I went up to Fremont because I was asked to come. And I was like, okay, fellowship. Most of the brethren I know. And they were having a meeting there. And it's like, okay, you'll have to go now. It's like, hey, no worries. I won't worry about their meeting. And it's like fellowship for 30 minutes. And then I said, okay, I'm going to be down here. Like, but more than anything, it's going to lodge in the fellowship. More than anything else, seeing the brothers, seeing what brothers that don't show up and want to see them more. That's about all. It's the fellowship more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I do some ritual, but I am not a memorization person. I mean, Blue Lodge, I can sit in almost every chair. I can't do lectures, but I do my best to do what I do in Blue Lodge. But I call myself a Masonic administrator. Trying to remember who on another podcast. Roundtable, Masonic Roundtable. One of the brothers asked ChatGPT all the questions about masonry and so forth. And one of the things it brought up was the secretary should be titled as Masonic administrator instead of secretary. It's like, okay, I'm tagging that line for me.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. I administrate paperwork. I administrate the lodge. I keep things on an even keel. But I mean, as a computer person myself, I mean, sitting in front of a computer for 35 years, doing it at home, no big deal. Yeah. Other people are like, get that thing away from me. I'm done with it today.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, the administrator's job, there could be an argument made that it's more important than the master's job.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Well, it's the old key term of the secretary runs the lodge. No, we don't run the lodge. We just keep it stable and make sure everything's there. And
it's one of those positions where if it's done right, you're going to go unnoticed.
To a point, yeah.
To a point.
Yeah.
If you do a poor job, everybody's going to notice. So it's a very, very important role.
Yeah, I like what you mentioned there about like you're not a ritualist. Like I'm somewhere in the middle. There's a good chance I might be doing senior warden and grand senior warden for a degree next week. I don't think that's going to go well, but we're going to probably give it a shot.
Okay, we can talk about it afterwards.
Nobody will know the difference, not even the candidate.
That's interesting.
Only that past master in the corner is like, you missed the word "the."
Jim's going to learn a part too. He just doesn't know yet.
All right, anyway.
It's a small one.
That's an interesting. Okay. York Rite. So You guys haven't joined yet.
No.
Mark's probably got a petition, so we'll start working on that.
No, I don't. Only if people ask.
Okay.
I don't put petitions in front of people's faces. And it's like, if they're inquiring, it's like, I got information. What do you want to know?
Tell us about, this is the opportunity. Tell us about York Rite and its place in Nebraska Masonry specifically.
Well, York Rite is I would say, a general term over main three bodies of chapter, council, and commandery. And it's more, the first two, chapter and council, are more explanation of the fellowcraft and master's degree, gives you more explanation of what the degree meant, give you more hints of what it could be. And commandery, of course, is the guys with the fluffy hats and so forth, and the drill teams and all that kind of stuff. And they are a Christian organization because they state that it's a Christian organization. And going that way, they also have their own foundations of what they support medically. But I mean, yeah, I joined because it gave me a progression of taking me back to the fellowcraft degree, explaining more than what we've seen in the fellowcraft degree, because in our mind, it's a short degree. This goes through and explains a little bit more, gives you more of what goes on or what would have happened in the story. And then the council lays upon the part of the master's degree. And we all know what happened in the master's degree. This gives it a little more in detail of what the story explains from the master's to the 2 degrees of council.
Okay.
And then I always screw this word up. Chivalric? Is that right? That sounds about right?
Better than I would do.
The chivalric orders of commandery, Knights Templar. It's the religious side, the Christian side of the organizations of York Rite, and there are some dependent bodies and some groups that are part of York Rite. And then if you go to yorkrite.org, I mean, you see it and it just expands the gambit of different ones, just like the one I came from in Vermont. But yeah, it's if you want a little more explanation on your 2 degrees in fellowcraft and masters, chapter council really brings it to a point, even though it's in a group setting. Sometimes the chapter council can do their own degrees, just like Blacksmith does. But mostly we do festivals in the beginning of the year and at the end in March and in October. Try to bring brethren in to go through the degrees. Just like I would look at it compared to Scottish Rite. We bring the brothers in, we explain it all, we have you go through it a bit, and then you get your degrees and orders.
The way you explained that actually kind of, having gone through both of them, I thought they were both amazing. You guys know what Scottish Rite was like. I would say with the York Rite, it was more of a historic background. In the Scottish Rite, the history isn't necessarily explained as well. It's more of a here's where our setting is, but it goes really in depth in the other ones. Right. And I'm curious to ask you, without giving details, what's your favorite degree out of all of them?
Order of the Temple. Okay. I got knighted by a brother that I really trust and really looked up to, because he was the first one I asked about York Rite, and he explained it all and said, "Here's this," and we meet here and there and come and talk to us and go forward. But yeah, I got knighted by a brother of my lodge and now my York Rite.
That's really cool.
So
I tell everybody I really struggle with the Knights Templar because it's by far my favorite. It was the coolest degree.
Mm-hmm.
I did things that I didn't know were on my bucket list, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I can't tell anybody about it.
No.
So it's like such a great experience.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you why.
Right. What I see when I get out of the experience is I've learned more because it completes the fellowcraft in my mind, and the council completes the master's. It fills in more the master's degree, and gives me a better perspective. Other brothers going through it could say, "Oh, look, I've got these chapter degrees and these council degrees and these knights orders," and it's like, okay, it's all personal preference.
Yeah.
I looked at it as it was something I could get the experience out over a brother who was sitting next to me. If he was just there because he wanted to be there, it's up to you. So,
And Mark, you did kind of glance over it, but go ahead and let everybody know what the philanthropies that York Rite, each of the bodies, has.
yeah. We are governed by 3 bodies, just like Blue Lodge is governed by the Grand Lodge of Nebraska or Iowa or whatever body you're in, or actually what jurisdiction you're in. Say it right. We are governed by 2 international groups and 1 United States group. Chapter is governed by the General Grand Chapter of Royal Arch Masons International. Council is governed by the General Grand Cryptic Masons International, and then Knights Templar is governed by the General Encampment Knights Templar, United States of America. So just a little different because the other 2 are international. This one's only U.S. for Knights Templar. In those bodies, we have research foundations that we support. One is basically Royal Arch Research Association. They tag it RARA because that's the initials. It is a research of auditory processing disorder, basically for hearing, and they work with other groups that deal with hearing as well. And they do the research, and then that research is applied to, like, the Joby's hike to develop better hearing aids. But they do a lot of the research. The Cryptic Masons, of course, Cryptic Masons medical research, they do vascular biology.
Okay.
Dealing with the blood vessels, maintaining your health, repairing tissues, diabetes, stroke, poor circulation. They're the ones doing that type of research. And Knights Templar is one of the popular ones. It's the Eye Foundation, where we've got doctors, and we even have a doctor in Nebraska that is doing research on a specific term of something specific with the eyes. I couldn't remember what it was. We had a tour of it, but it also works with other groups like senior eye care programs, Eye Care of America. I mean, we as brothers support the foundation. The foundation supports the organizations that need that research. But I mean, yeah, the foundations, I mean, they're 3 separate foundations because of 3 separate bodies. They're independent of each other. But it's just like with Blue Lodge, we support our homes, our Masonic home in Plattsmouth, and then the one in Fremont, one for the kids and one for the seniors. And it's just what we do to help try, as as Masons, we try to make the world a better place.
Sure.
And these organizations do their best to get the research done. And what was it? I got an email from our cryptic Masons research. Nebraska in donations is 7th out of 49
Wow.
in donations. So the companions of Nebraska have donated a lot towards that research group.
Well, yeah, considering 3/4 of our state is nearly uninhabited.
Yeah.
Well, I made a point to ask that because there have been many times where I hear brothers talk about the educational aspect of York Rite, but they don't mention the philanthropy side of it. See, I can't say words either.
Philanthropic.
Philanthropic.
There you go.
There it
There's
is. Very well done.
Thank you. Been working on that.
And one other thing that popped in while you were there at the end, you mentioned a title. Of all the appendant bodies, I think one of the things that York Rite loves more than the others, because all of the bodies love it, is titles. So give us some of the titles that any member gets when they're going through the different bodies. What would you call a brother from each one of the bodies?
Well, chapter, it's companion. And council, it's also companion. And then, of course, commandery is Sir Knight. And
I
then,
like the sound of that.
yeah.
Well, now let's get into some of the officers' names.
Please. You're going to make me work for this, aren't you?
Well, I'm new enough that I haven't got them all yet. They mentioned this is such and such, and I'm like, looking.
Where's this title? Where's this title? Don't get me in the general grand titles. They're just way too prestigious. But our grand officers, our high priest is like the Blue Lodge Mason, Worshipful Master. Most illustrious Grand High Priest. For council, it is Most Illustrious Grandmaster. He gets the title of Grandmaster. Unlike our Blue Lodge, we have a Grandmaster. Mm-hmm. Well, he is Most Illustrious Grandmaster. Doesn't mean he's over the Grandmaster. It's just the title that's created for that position.
Sure.
And then, of course, with the commandery, Grand Commander. And for the local body of the commanders, Eminent Commander. And I hold that title right now because I am the commander of Mount Moriah No. 4 in Lincoln. So,
whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop, yeah. Like a brother kept picking on me back in 2018 when I became Worshipful Master. You're the poobah. And it's like, no. Go reference back to Flintstones. It's like, no, I'm no poobah. I'm just sitting in the east for the time being.
And then I have to give one more plug. For those that are interested in commandery, there are swords involved. I had my first sword play at the last practice, and I'm no good at it. But
Is that
I'm
how you
getting
lost
there.
a part of your ear?
Well, we don't talk about that. No,
That's a secret of masonry.
You learned how to parry for?
Well, I tried to learn. I'm going to practice some more on it. I was taught how to do it. I was taught well how to do it, but I can't do it well yet. So
It's just a count of 4.
well, I got to get to that. Yeah, there's muscle memory involved, and so yeah.
So I want to
this-
go back a little bit to the medical research, Mark, and maybe you know, maybe you don't. Do any of these bodies work with the Masonic Research Institute in New York?
Not that I know of, and I did watch that podcast, and I was like, I had to look into that because it was like, that's the first time I've heard about it. But I didn't see any correlation between the two.
Okay.
But, I mean, the research bodies they work with, they use our names, but they're independent of us.
Okay.
So money comes from us to the research, and the research money in grants go to that. Just like the doctor here in Omaha, he applied for a Knights Templar Eye Foundation grant. He was awarded it, and he's been doing the research for, I think, the last 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah. And bonus that our Grand Commander is treated by this doctor too. So it was like, oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Our Grand Commander, Joseph Charbonneau, has a issue with one of his eyes after a stroke, and he's being treated by this exact same doctor that gave us the information about what he's doing research on. And it's like, ooh, that's really getting close to home.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because you always talk about these doctors doing all these research, and I get all those emails about these foundations, and it's like, I never know these doctors. And it's
Right.
and then when we went to do that tour, I forget what the place is. It's downtown. Starts with a T. Yeah, we got to tour the place and what the research does, what he's doing, and all the other research that goes on at this research facility. But it was cool to know that, one, we, with the Knights Templar, gave him a grant for money to do the research. Mm-hmm. And also, he's Joseph's doctor. And so it's like, even better, because that makes it really close to home.
Yeah.
Because he's not just helping research, but he's also treating a brother at the same time. And it's like, cool.
Yeah, it really ties together the brotherhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
What are some of your other roles in Masonry?
other roles. Besides being the eminent commander of Mount Moriah, I mean, that's the only other role I have right now. I've been high priest at Lincoln Chapter and illustrious master with Lincoln Council, and been worshipful master of Cotner. But I look at it as the biggest part of my role as secretary. I was secretary of 3, now I'm down to 2 because they decided they wanted to do a switch at Cotner, but that's fine. No big deal. I'm training the new one. But being secretary as that title of Masonic administrator keeps going, because I communicate, I send emails out, I communicate. If I have to call brother, I call brother. I do. We've had 2, 3 different funerals, so I get the funeral information in the Masonic roll ready for the family. Mm-hmm. Check to see if they want a Masonic service. It's one of our public, besides our installations are public. Just making sure if there's anything the brother who passed, the family needs anything. And I try to stay in touch with the family as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to push us on their life. I let them know I'm there, and then let it go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, my biggest key is communication. When I was coming up through not just the line, but going to different lodges, I'd go to this lodge and I'd ask the brother at the lodge, "How do you know this information about your meeting?" "Well, we're just told that from the previous meeting." No communication out, no emails, no calls. So when I became a secretary, I said, that's not going to happen with me. Communication is the biggest key to get it out. So I send about 150 emails through our Grandview system to brethren of the 2 lodges I'm responsible for. So at least they can say, well, I didn't know about the meeting.
Yeah.
Check your email. And of course, I'm the person always with the bad news of pay your dues.
Yeah.
I'm always reminding, pay your dues. And then I'm also the one that says, well, you didn't pay your dues because we have to drop you. But that's approval from the lodge and the master. And that comes up in April.
Yeah. That's coming fast.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't yet, pay your damn dues.
If you haven't paid your dues, this is your last notice.
Yeah.
Demonstrate that love never ends through the commitment to support past and present service members, the communities that surround them, and the loved ones of those whom we will never forget. Visit deganpage.org for more information.
At Homeward Handyman Services, we pride ourselves on being honest and giving every job the attention it deserves. Owned and operated by a master mason with 2 decades of expertise in home repair. We are bonded and insured, and we carry the highest standards when it comes to taking care of your home. Whether you need a faucet changed or a light remodel, we can take care of your home improvement needs. Call Michael at 402-915-0824 today for a free estimate.
When it comes to something as important as insurance, it's imperative that you work with an agency who has an in-depth knowledge of multiple insurance products, companies, and guidelines, not just one. We are completely independent agents, and we work for your best interests. We are Mason-friendly. We have locations in Fremont and Elkhorn. We provide policies for virtually all of your personal and commercial needs, including health and dental. Visit our website at www.theinsurancecenterinc.com. We're available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hi, listeners. I'm Brother Samuel.
I'm Brother Gabriel,
And I'm Brother Ryan.
and we're the hosts of the Third Degree Masonic podcast. We hope you're enjoying Studio 357 as much as we are. If you're looking for further knowledge on Masonic topics, then check us out on the same platforms as Studio 357. And remember, craftsmen,
Keep your working tools in order.
And always be on the level.
now let's get back to Studio 357.
So, it's like you alluded to earlier, Jim. If a secretary is doing his job right, which it takes a lot, you'll never know. There's so much that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I know just from sitting as in my term in the East, you rely on the secretary so much to just mainly for the communication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting dispensation for this or that, or carrying communication from the Grand Lodge or back to the Grand Lodge, or it's almost endless.
Well, and even having there's a definite lifeline of knowledge hopefully there is in the secretary's office, and that a lot of times the secretary continues through terms where everybody else is going. So you've got somebody that's sitting over there that says, oh, hey, no, you can't do that. That's against the bylaws. Or that's against the Grand Lodge bylaws.
Right.
Or, well, here's what we did 10 years ago and what happened. Or I'm not saying that you can't do it.
Right.
It just didn't work for us then.
Right.
That knowledge is invaluable from the secretary.
Yeah. I mean, before we started, I made that comment, and it's like, the secretary don't run the meetings. I don't run the meetings. I just give advice. Yeah. And I'll say, well, you want to do that, but give you advice of what you should maybe do or should not do.
Or here's the pitfall that you may not see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And my knowledge of Grand Lodge bylaws, our own Blue Lodge bylaws, it's in digital form. I Google search it. I'll search it, pull up keywords, because at one of my lodges they were saying, well, we know we did it in the bylaws. We know we did it in the bylaws. And it's like I pulled up the bylaws, keyword search, couldn't find it. Yeah. Couldn't find it. Did it 3 different ways. Couldn't find it. So I asked 2 other brothers to sent them the bylaws, had them review it too. They couldn't find it either. So next meeting, we said, Worshipful Master, it's not in the bylaws. Well, I know we voted on it. Nope.
That's interesting you brought it up. I was listening to, I'm always putting them together. They had just gone through Wisconsin, or through the Grand Masters of North America, and there's a new business, or a newer business, that has got an LMS, kind of an AI version that they plug all that stuff into,
right,
so that you can just type it in. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was something Hiram, but it might have been Ask Hiram, something like that. Yeah. I heard that and I thought, man, we really need that in Nebraska. I would love that. And the example they were given is that, you're in the East and you have that discussion and you could just, nope, you're wrong, or you're right. It's right here, and give the section and everything else. So that's an interesting idea on how AI could could affect masonry going forward.
Or hurt.
Or hurt.
Because, I mean, if the LMN is made correctly, I've heard that a past Grand Master who's an IT person has put a AI together, and he's tested it and worked it out. It's like, okay, let me test it, work it out. I'm an IT person too. Let me play with it and see what happens. But AI, it's good to ask questions, but not always going to give you.
We could have a whole
advice.
episode on the issues with AI.
Yes.
Being in the IT world, I've got opinions, good and bad, on that too. But just from a even if you throw out whether it works or is accurate, there is a definite problem with the idea of making it so simple to find everything that you don't spend the time putting in the work to learn it. We've got all sorts of examples of that in society where we've dumbed it down to the point where I had to go through spelling words as a kid because you're never going to have a dictionary in your pocket. And yet here we are with a cell phone. And so that technology's made it where people, the art of spelling is not as necessary as it was at one time.
Yeah. Or handwriting.
Or a number of other things. But the idea of making it easier doesn't always mean it's better.
Right. Yeah.
That's an idea for an episode we can do in the future.
We could do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have a reference if you want to talk to somebody about really in depth the past Grandmaster, probably tag him and contact him, and maybe he would come in and chat about it.
Write that down.
Secretary.
What?
So, Mark, what do you think, in your opinion, if somebody was thinking about the York Rite, what would be like your biggest, I don't want to say selling point, 'cause it's not like you have to sell it, but what would be the biggest benefit that somebody would see by joining the York Rite?
I still go back, it all depends on the brother. I mean, like I said, when I went through, I got more out of the chapter degrees, finishing up the fellowcraft portion, and then the council degrees, finishing up the master's portion. It's not a complete finish. It gives you more ideas like, that could have been a possibility. Because it is a story more than anything else. And, I mean, that's somewhat how I explain it. Because this gives you some completion of your other 2 degrees. And then, of course, commandery is the fluffy hats and swords and dressing up. But it's one of the things is, what do you want out of it? Just like when you join Blue Lodge, what do you want out of it? What is possibilities? Because it's just what you want to do. Because when I joined, I was like, okay, semi-completed my fellowcrafts, semi-completed my masters, and got to be a Sir Knight. The other component of that, becoming a part of commandery, was my dad was part of Knights of Columbus because he was Catholic, and he was also given the title Sir Knight. So in my mind, it was like, hey, we're both knighted. He was knighted by the Catholics, and I was knighted by a brother that I looked up to and trusted. So.
And there's also the advantage if you are a ritualist person. I'm not saying if you're not, you wouldn't enjoy it, but if you are, there are so many parts to learn in that. You could spend the rest of your life learning all of those parts and all those degrees.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Yeah. Not a ritualist. But yeah, I mean, we have brothers that really know their ritual. I mean, our current most illustrious Grand Master, Jonathan Paz, is a very good ritualist, and he can put him in a position, give him a few minutes, and he's off through the races with it. I mean, I've seen him do the middle chamber. I've seen him do parts in the chapter council and commanderies. Also, our grand commander, Joseph Charbonneau. I've seen him also do degree work for the Knights Templar stuff. And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But, and of course, everybody knows AJ.
Yeah.
He is the person of everybody tries to be the ritualist of. So, and I know I'll probably get some backlash if Jonathan or Joseph hear me say everybody looks up to AJ. I do because of his knowledge.
Sure.
I mean, he can pull off the ritual. It's just like, wow. I can go through the chairs in Blue Lodge.
Yeah.
That's about as close as I'm going to get in going to do York Rite. And it's like, well, we get to read it. We should be able to go through and memorize it, and eventually, some of us will. But it's just to that point of who can do the best.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I would put out a plug. Mark said earlier that there's lodges that do their own degrees. So the chapter I went through at Plattsmouth, and it was great. It was amazing. But I did the other two in the festival, and I witnessed chapter at the festival, and there's something about all the different area chapters coming together and putting together a degree. So and being able to knock it out in 1 day or 2 days or whatever it takes, they do a great job, and they've got people that can fill in the different positions. And so next weekend there's a festival in Papillion.
Yep.
Is where they're having it. If you get an opportunity, even if you're a member and haven't seen one for a while, make sure you take the opportunity to go watch that, because they're so it's like Scottish. It's like any of the degrees. You learn something every time you go see it. So.
right.
Definitely, it's probably a little late if you were thinking of joining right now, but keep that in mind for the fall, for the festival, because it's really cool, really cool.
Yeah. So.
I think we hit all the questions.
What about number 7?
Oh, I thought we did that. All right. What is your favorite part of masonry?
Welcome to the show, Mr. Producer.
I thought we did that one.
Yeah, we did do that. Fellowship. That's my favorite part of masonry. It's the fellowship. Meeting with the brethren before and sometimes after. Breaking bread. Because it's the only time you can sit down with a brother and truly, truly be open and forward with another brother. Because you get brothers sitting down at dinner and they may just sit down and eat and then go to the meeting and then leave. Some other brothers will sit down and want to talk. You never know. Because if you're able to sit down and chat, I mean, sometimes brothers will talk about things that are going on in their life. I know of a couple of brothers who've been going through a lot of medical issues, and they want to sit and talk about what's going on. And we want to hear what's going on, because this is the time that we can see them and talk to them and feel what can we do for them, and just pray for them and hope they get better or feel better. Because sometimes you only see them once a month. Sometimes you can see them several times a month. It just all depends on if they're able to come. So, but yeah, fellowship is what's my biggest key, because that's the whole reason I put on my petition was fellowship.
Well, we've talked about that in other episodes. I think that's one of the strengths of masonry in general. Is it could be used to battle against loneliness, and as time goes on, it's become an epidemic of men with loneliness in society, And yet here is a group of men that get together specifically so that we can fellowship. And not only that we can fellowship, but that we can become involved if needed, if that brother needs some help, whether it be medical or financial or whatever it is.
Or
there are people
just to be there for them.
Yeah, just to be there and to pray for them. That's invaluable in today's society.
Yeah.
And so I can't say that enough. If you're out there and you're not a Mason and you don't have a group to hang out with, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I mean, that was the biggest key they brought up at the Masonic Summit that the Grand Master had on the 14th. The presenter was a lady who did the research on Be a Mason. And she brought some new information about it. And the biggest thing is feeling the loneliness. And Masonry, I don't want to say cures loneliness, but it does help.
Definitely helps combat it.
Right. Because you get a brother that is sitting at home all by himself. You can call him up and say, hey, what are you doing tonight? Not much. He's like, hey, let's go to lodge. He may say yes. He may say no. If he says yes, hey, look, you've got a brother coming, and he may come again on his own. You never know.
Yeah.
Well, and there seems to, at least for my generation, I can't speak for all the generations, but it was really easy to make friends when you were a kid. But the older you get, the harder it is. And starting that conversation and friendship, usually part of the struggle is finding people that you have a commonality with, something that you search out for people that have the same interests and hobbies, and that's not always easy to find, or in relationships or religion or politics, and that's got its own problems. But we've all got a commonality with Freemasonry and the ideals behind it and the lessons from it, and that's something that we can talk about. That's a starting point where those friendships blossom from there.
Outstanding. Does that bring us to our artifact of the week?
Well, did you have open discussion of anything?
Did you want to dive deeper into the York Rite?
I've explained as much as I can. I mean,
Okay.
because it's online. I mean, if they go to the general site, yorkrite.org, you can find the general information about York Rite. They'll point you to the right places. Be a Freemason points back to that if you're thinking about York Rite. Any yorkrite.org is Nebraska's York Rite. My information's right there on the front page.
Okay.
If somebody wants to contact me, just like I did, I got a text message from a brother just yesterday about he was inquiring about York Rite and wanted more explanation. I asked for his email address, got his information, inquired with his secretary of his lodge, and he got a message back. Thank you, I received it. And it's like, we'll see if he gets back to me and he wants to sit down and meet and talk about it. Then I will get a couple other brothers who are York Rite, and we'll see if we can answer his questions.
And just to spell it out, if you haven't figured it out, if you're a non-Mason right now listening, the first step in York Rite would be to join a Blue Lodge, because you do have to go through the first 3 degrees. This is an independent body. You have to do that first. You could speak to any other requirements, but the one that kind of gets missed, and you did mention it earlier, is that the commandery is Christian. You do have to be Christian, and you have to be able to say that you are in a way. I don't want to say that either, but there are plenty of brothers, including Matthew Parker, who we had on this show, talked about it. He's not in commandery, but he is in the other 2 bodies.
Right.
And so just because you're not Christian doesn't mean York Rite's not for you. It's just specifically commandery would not be for you. So
yeah, and I've had that conversations with some brothers wanting to join, saying it's not to the point of with commandery, the support of the Christian faith and defending the Christian faith.
Yes.
And I've talked to a few Jewish brethren that say, oh, I defend the Christian faith. I'm Jewish, but I'd still defend it. It's like, I know you would. You're a brother. Right. You would defend, I would defend. But it's written into commandery's bylaws, not Grand Commandery of Nebraska. It's in the encampment. And I had a lawyer read through it, and he says, well, Yes and no. So it's I think more than the fact it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't let that, if you're not Christian, don't let that sway you away from York Rite. There's
Right.
plenty there.
Right.
I wanted to spell that out so that everybody knows what to expect.
That's why we have Jim on the show. He's good at making everything a little more PC than I would.
Darn this, darn that.
As I've had to explain several times since we started this buying and selling and moving process, a fair amount of times my filter just quits working. To the point where my realtor really avoided trying to have a difficult conversation. Who knew?
You turned it over to her, right?
To the secretary.
Okay, so our artifact of the week. I had a brother reach out to me on Facebook. Let me talk into the mic. We're on a podcast here. He reached out on Facebook. He's a collector of Albert Mackey books. And I think he was in Virginia. And being used as a bookmark in one of these books in his collection was a past master certificate for a brother from Beehive Lodge here in Omaha.
Cool.
That is, I gotta open it. I don't remember when it was from. 1905.
Wow.
And one of these signatures on it is John J. Mercer,
Ooh,
which is
nice.
one of the first Grand Masters of Nebraska.
I think he was the 14th, something like that.
John J. Mercer? Yeah.
And then it also has in here
Bylaws?
this is from the original Freemasons Hall downtown. Beehive Lodge, this is in the officers from 1901 to 1902. It has all of the...
Sounds better when you say 19 not 1 and 19 not 2.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Oh, okay.
But the past masters on the back page of this card, there's like 10 of them.
Which is really funny because we had at our installation we had a copy that showed all of them, and it was as big as that book is. And to see just the past masters on the back page, that's really cool.
But that's all the members of Beehive in 1901.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
the lodge was like 15 years old,
Yeah.
if that.
So that was
14 years old.
That was very cool. I was very thankful that he reached out and sent that to me.
Cool.
That's pretty neat.
That is that. I got to say, I think that's probably the neatest thing you've brought yet.
Yeah, that's very. I mean, it's a tangible piece of history.
Well, and the way they came about it is really cool because that just could have easily been thrown in a heap and.
Right. It was just in a book.
Right.
Yeah, the entire thing was in the envelope here, and it was being used as a bookmark. Like, how does just the way it came full circle back to a Beehive brother was pretty cool.
And then the other bookmark was the Declaration of Independence.
Man, it could be with the lemon juice.
Right.
Can't get away from Night Stepper.
Do we have any upcoming events? I think you have something, don't you, Mark?
Well, just what I was putting out at Grand Lodge of save the date of 16th to the 18th. Point it in the right direction. Where's the camera? There's the camera, right there. I'm looking at the TV. But 16th to the 18th, registration's still open. So I'm still waiting on a few of the grand officers get their registrations in. So I do have the 3 heads, so that I've got, so I don't have to put them on the chopping block. But yeah, Grand York Rite this coming month in April, and then all the other bodies coming up. May is Eastern Star, and then Joby's and Rainbow in June, and then August is DeMolay. Being the secretary, I have to know these dates so I can pass them along. Pass them along because I get the questions from leadership say, when are these going to happen?
That's not me, I promise.
It's not us. It's not us. No alert. No alert.
Sounded like a bee to me.
It's all right. We're totally not filming a podcast here.
Right,
Yeah,
well,
really.
well, and I don't even know if that noise will make it onto the microphones with you.
That's true.
Probably not. Probably won't.
Everybody's saying, what are they talking about?
What are we looking at? What are we hearing?
If you didn't hear that, there was a very noisy food cart that rolled through the room.
Yeah, plus somebody's cell phone going off with an alert.
Got to make sure you hear it. Well, Mark, thank you very much for finally letting me get you on camera.
Do you want to do shout outs?
Yeah, let's do shout outs. Way to keep us back on track, Jim.
That's because for once I have one that I pre-thought. So I want to give a shout out to worshipful brother Kyle Beckner, who is the head of the membership committee. And this morning they started the first of a 6-series leadership conference. They talked about membership this morning. They're going to try to continue to do that. They're meeting every other month at the Scottish Rite, so keep an eye on Facebook. But he did a wonderful job. We had quite a bit of a turnout. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. It's not just for lodge leadership. It is actually any member can go. There were quite a few members there that weren't in leadership roles, but I just wanted to say he did a great job, and it was great information.
I don't know if I have a shout out.
I win!
I'm going to shout out everybody that's going to do the master degree on Thursday, because that was kind of rough to set up.
Well, it's not fully set up yet.
Well, we should have everybody now.
It's close enough. I think we can make it work.
We should have everybody with the people.
The essentials?
At that meeting, I heard from another lodge that they thought they had some parts filled. So sounds like
Good. I hope so.
Yeah, I was told a number of 6, but I don't know.
I don't know why people are messaging me, because I'm not the master or the secretary.
Podcast.
Either way, we've had a wayfaring man has other engagements,
Okay.
so we'll figure that out. Yeah. No worries. Hakuna Matata. Something like that.
No other shout-outs?
My brain's just done.
I can imagine.
Try me on the next episode.
Okay, well, Mark, you got any shout-outs?
Just the brothers who keep York Rite moving, and keep it active and keep it strong. Because York Rite, Blue Lodge, trying to remember what the Grand Master said, we were like 7,000 strong in Nebraska. York Rite's about 550 membership-wise. And that's just with one body and then the other two. So it's not a 500 times 3, it's 500 in chapter, and then they are companions in council, and then Knights Templar in commandery. So, but just to those brothers who keep it going, that are like AJ.
I do have a shout out.
Okay.
Shout out to Heath's girlfriend, Sam.
Ooh.
She's 21 now.
Oh,
We're going to have her 21st birthday party in about 2 minutes upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
The timing worked out perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mark, for coming.
Yep.
Thank you, Jim, for making arrangements to get back from vacation.
yeah. Apparently, I tried not to.
You look very happy in that Facebook picture, by the way.
You're going to have to be more specific.
The one at the airport.
When we get done with the show, I'll show you the real picture that was not Facebook approved. And as far as that goes, if anyone wants to send us a message, I might do that offline, but I won't put it on Facebook.
10-4. Good, buddy. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you the next time.
Travel well.
well.